You know, if you've looked at any new homes, pretty much in the last decade, you've seen it everywhere, the open concept floor plan. But here's the thing, it's so much more than just a trend. It's a massive shift in how we think our homes should feel and work. It's all about connection, light, and just a seamless flow for how we actually live today. So let's dive into what this is all about.
But first, let me ask you something. Think about your own home right now. Does the layout, does it actually work for your daily routine? You know, when you have friends over, or even just on a regular Tuesday night with the family, do you feel connected, or do you kind of feel like everyone's separated by a bunch of walls? It's a really important question to ask yourself. And this slide right here, it just perfectly captures that shift. We've moved away from that traditional layout on the left, where, every single activity had its own little walled-off box, to the modern great room on the right. This means things like cooking, eating dinner, and just relaxing are no longer isolated activities. They're shared experiences. Life is happening all together in one big, vibrant space, instead of one person being stuck in the kitchen.
Okay, so what does open concept actually mean? Because it's not just about taking a sledgehammer to a few walls. It's really a smart combination of three different ideas, all working together to create that amazing open feeling.
Here they are, the three core pieces. First, it's often built on a single-story foundation that puts everything on one super accessible level. Second, you've got the heart of the home, the great room, where the kitchen, the dining area, and the living room all just flow into one. And third, it's all about the modern design details. Think really clean lines, simple shapes, and huge windows that pretty much blur the line between inside and out.
So we know what it is. Now for the fun part. Why is it so incredibly popular? I mean, what's the big secret? Why does everyone want to tear down their walls? Well, it really comes down to how it completely changes the feeling of your everyday life.
There are four huge benefits drawing people in. You get this incredible social flow, which is just fantastic for families and for having people over. You get a ton of mood-boosting natural light. Your layout is way more flexible for, whatever life throws at you. And finally, that single-story design is perfect for what we call aging in place, which is just a nice way of saying the home stays safe and easy to get around in as you get older, without having to worry about stairs.
Now, here's something that's really wild. It's the psychological trick that light plays on our brains. When you get rid of those interior walls, light from a window on one side of the house can just pour all the way across to the other side. There's nothing stopping it. And that effect is what makes even a smaller home feel huge, bright, and airy. It is a total game changer for how a home feels.
And this quote just nails the emotional core of it all. It's really about connection. But before you get too excited and start planning a demolition party, we need to have a really honest conversation. Because it isn't all sunshine and open spaces. There are some serious, practical challenges you have to solve.
All right, let's pull back the curtain for a minute. This is the unfiltered, no-nonsense advice straight from a builder. The kind of stuff you absolutely have to know before you commit so you can avoid some really common and really frustrating problems.
There are four big ones. First, structure. To get those beautiful, wide-open spaces, you need massive, expensive, engineered beams to hold everything up. They do the job of the missing walls, but they add real cost. Second, lifestyle, sound. It goes everywhere. Just try to imagine taking an important work call while the TV is blasting and the dishwasher is running a few feet away. Privacy suddenly becomes a real luxury. Third, design. There is literally nowhere to hide your mess. That pile of mail on the counter, it's now a centerpiece. It demands that you stay tidy. And finally, comfort. Heating and cooling one giant, high-ceilinged room is a serious challenge. You need a much smarter HVAC system to avoid weird cold spots and crazy high-energy bills.
I mentioned those engineered beams, and this is what we're talking about. An LVL is basically a feat of modern engineering. It's like a super strong sandwich made of thin wood layers, all glued together under crazy pressure to be way stronger than a solid piece of wood. This is the magic ingredient that makes that uninterrupted view across your home even possible.
So that's the big dilemma, isn't it? How in the world do you get all of that beautiful light and connection without the constant noise, the total lack of privacy, and that feeling that you're living in a beautiful but kind of chaotic warehouse?
Well, the great news is you absolutely can. The answer isn't to just give up and build more walls. It's to design smarter, right from the very beginning. Let's look at how you can take every single one of those challenges and turn it into a design win.
This checklist right here, this is your playbook. These are the four things that are totally non-negotiable. Every truly great open concept plan has to have them, so let's break them down one by one.
Let's start with the undisputed hero of the open plan, the kitchen island. This thing is so much more than just a place to chop vegetables. It's the command center of the entire home. It's where homework gets done, it's the buffet at parties, it's the magnet that everyone just gathers around. And, really critically, it creates this powerful visual line that says, hey, this is the kitchen, without needing a single wall.
Okay, next, to solve that warehouse problem, you have to create zones, but without using walls. This is where the clever design stuff comes in. So imagine a really high vaulted ceiling over your living area to make it feel grand, but then a lower, more intimate ceiling with a beautiful light fixture right over the dining table. Or maybe you switch from tile in the kitchen to warm hardwood in the family room. These subtle architectural tricks create the feeling of separate rooms that are still beautifully connected.
And this next one, please, whatever you do, do not forget this: storage. It's the #1 mistake people make. See, when you tear down interior walls, you're also getting rid of all the closets that were in them. This means a big walk-in pantry and a really well-designed mudroom aren't just luxuries anymore. They are absolutely essential to keep the clutter of real life from completely taking over your beautiful open space.
Okay, we have covered the dream, the reality, and the brilliant solutions. And all of that brings us back to the final and most personal question of all. After everything we've talked about, is an open plan home actually the right choice for you?
Let's just boil it all down to this. You should go for an open plan if what you care about most is that feeling of connection, amazing natural light, and a flexible layout. But, and this is the big one, you have to be ready to commit right from day one to actively designing smart solutions for noise, privacy, and storage. It's a trade-off, and you just have to be ready to make it.
Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one simple idea. It's not about building a trendy house from a magazine. It's about creating a space that is a perfect, precise reflection of how you and your family actually live your lives.
And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. Forget about all the TV shows and what everyone else is doing for just a second. What does a home that is a true, honest reflection of your life, what does that actually look like?